Hi, my name is Amanda, and earlier I posted a video showing how to make the leaves for these polymer clay wreaths. You can turn them into pendants or ornaments or whatever you like. These I had originally turned into earrings, and even this one was an earring, but I think I'm going to turn it into an ornament because I think it'll look really nice with the Christmas lights shining through the glass charm. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the base of the wreath, the clay foundation that you're going to stick all your leaves to. So for the first way, I used cutters that I had these on hand, and it ended up looking like this. The other way, I used this metal hoop that I had, and I took clay and I just wrapped it and stretched it around the hoop until it covered the whole thing, and that ended up looking like this. For the earrings, I prefer the cutters. I just think it looks more clean. For the ornament, I don't mind it as much because I could probably wrap leaves around the back too. But for the earrings, that just is going to add way too much weight and it won't be comfortable to wear. So now I'm going to show you how I do the metal hoop method. This is what it looks like after most of the leaves have been applied. I'm going to show you how I did that from the start. So you'll take your metal hoop, you're going to take clay, and you're just going to smush it and stretch it up all the way around. So let me get the parchment paper and I will show you how I did this. Using a separate piece, I will press it over and use pressure to flatten down the clay, and that's going to give it that flat look and give you a good base to apply all your leaves onto so that you have a pretty even surface. For this example, I am using pink because I just really wanted to make a pink wreath and I had the supplies, so why not? So I start just by literally putting the clay on the bottom of the hoop and I squeeze it together so that it forms a tube around it, and I just squeeze and stretch and squeeze and stretch, and you just gently do this until it pushes up and forms all the way around it. And it's okay if you have excess clay that's kind of bulging out on the sides. You can just sort of smooth it out, and then at the end you can take your blade or your cutter and just slice off any of the excess and then smooth it back out. So you'll put this piece on your parchment paper, and then we're just going to fold it over and we're going to apply pressure just to flatten it out and give it an even surface. But before that, go ahead and cut off any excess clay that you know is not necessary, and then you can just smooth it out with your fingers. All of this surface area is going to be covered in leaves, so it does not have to be perfect. Once you're satisfied, you'll get your other piece of paper and you're just going to press it down on top of it, smooth it down flat, and then just take anything that's wider than your piece and just press it down and smooth it over. And this is going to give it a perfectly flat surface for all your leaves to stick onto. And I'll do a few leaves to show you what it looks like from the very beginning. And then after that, I will also show you how to make this base for your wreaths. First things first, have to get rid of this paper. It's driving me crazy. So you're going to start as the same thing in the other video. You are going to make a cylinder type shape with your clay. It does not have to be perfect and the same thickness from end to end. Once you get your cylinder shape, you're going to lie it out, and then you're just going to take your blade and you are just going to chop it up into little bits. Some can be thicker, some can be thinner. Again, leaves in nature are not all identical, so don't worry about being perfect. once you've got them all cut, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pick a piece, pinch the end, flatten it, take your scissors, cut diagonally along 1/2. Not all the way through, you're just going to pinch it down, which is why I have the painter's tape to stop myself from going all the way through. And then just pinch it off at the end, and you're going to hold it with your scissors and then place it down wherever you want to start and just press it down. And then you have your first sleeve. And you're just going to do this over and over until you fill up your wreath. Pinch, flatten, and then take your scissors and pinch it along 1/2 and then the other, and you'll just do this over and over again. And other than leaves, you can add other things to your wreath. You can add berries like I did on the first ones. You could add little sparkly round balls to look like ornaments. If you have liquid clay, you could make strings for maybe strings of light or tinsel, which is something that I'm going to try shortly. There's all sorts of things that you can do. So for this one, you are going to use a block of clay, and you're just going to cut off however much you need. You're just going to form it until you get a flat surface. This doesn't have to be perfect. If you want it perfect, you could use a roller, which I have, but I just didn't have the room for. I also have a pasta machine, which you could use, but I just use my finger. And again, the leaves cover most of it, so it does not have to be perfect. You just need as much clay, as thick as you want it, to be able to fit inside of your cutters. So I'm just flattening this out by hand and smoothing it out by hand. And then you take your cutter, you're going to take your wider size first, and you're going to just press it down into your clay. You can use your fingers, or if that's too hard, you can use your roller to push it in. And ideally, it should just peel off. After that, you can smooth it out, and then you're going to take your smaller cutter. You're going to put that in the center, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to push it down, and then ideally, one side is going to either peel out or peel up. And then you can gently separate it from the center. This one is a lot more thin than the one that's wrapped around the metal hoop. It has a tendency to move around more. Once you get some leaves on it though, it should steady itself out. To help me with one of the finishing steps, I went ahead on this one and I poke a hole in it from the beginning. It's harder to drill into with this one because it's just so thin and so tiny, and we don't have to do that for the metal hoops because they already have a loop for you. So this one, the leaves are the same thing. You're going to pinch, you're going to flatten, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut diagonal lines on each half. You're going to cut it off at the tip and pick a place to put it down. I usually start at one of the more thinner areas just to make my life difficult, I guess. Probably would be better to start at a thicker area, but that's just me. And you'll just do this over and over again until you fill up your wreath. And as always, thanks again. Your likes and comments and subscriptions help me to stay motivated. They help my mind to stay focused and healthy. I am a mom with ADHD, and sometimes life gets really hard. And this is just a great outlet for me, and I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy learning from others, and I enjoy sharing what I learn. So thanks for watching. Happy holidays.